And welcome to the 2022-23 Men's Basketball Preview Show for the Big West Conference, brought to you by BuyB1.com. With Richie Schueler, I'm Tim Neverett. Happy you're with us as we count you down to the top teams in the Big West Conference as we get you a little closer to the start of the basketball season. The team that checks in number 9 on the Big West Coaches Poll, Richie, is the Cal Poly Mustangs. This is a team certainly looking to improve. They did not do nearly as well as they thought they might be able to do in conference last year, finishing 3-12.
Well, John Smith has always said that, if he could do things differently, he might not have had so many young players throughout COVID when you couldn't really develop them. And they really took their lumps as a result. They started very young. COVID happened. They couldn't work out as much. But coming into this year, they've really lost 0 players of major impact. They've got 9 returning players, 81% of their scoring back. Most of their newcomers have experience in Division I. And they've got 2 grad transfers I'm excited to see. Chance Hunter, who just played a season at Cal Baptist, but before that was in the league at Long Beach State, where he was a 2-time all-conference player. And then Brian Penn Johnson, he's a guy at 7'1", 235 that should really fill up the middle, have a lot of length down inside as a rim protector. He played at a couple of high majors as well. So they've got a chance to really make some noise and be better than that 9th place slot that the coaches have voted them in.
Well, you add those newcomers with experience to the returning star, Alamomi Karoma.
He's awesome. Another guy that was 2-time Big West All-Conference player, 6'8", about 230 or so, and just really good. He's 3rd last year in the league in field goal percentage, about 50%, and was great at blocking shots. He had a lot of double-digit scoring game. John Smith said he had a great summer. He's really matured. He's always been a mature guy, but he's become into a leader. Really good wingspan. They say it's about 7'2". Had multiple games of over 25 points last year, and he's tough to stop in the post and with 3-point range. They really do a good job with their length over there with the recruiting these days at Cal Poly.
The Cal Poly Mustangs on the road to improvement. John Smith had a chance to visit with our Molly Sullivan. You'll hear that conversation when we come back.
The B1 Performance Patch elevates physical functions by transforming carbs into glucose used to fuel the body. Don't compete without it. Visit buyb1.com or on social media at B1Patch.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. Ticket Smarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the Ticket Smarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think Ticket Smarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at Ticketsmarter.com.
The Big West is back in Las Vegas. Don't miss the 2023 Hercules Tires Big West Basketball Championships, presented by the Hawaiian Islands, March 7th through the 11th at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada. Catch the pulse-pounding action as 20 men's and women's teams battle to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. Get the best seats in the house at tickets.calpoly.edu or call 805-756-4849.
What a finish! Cal Poly Mustangs finished 7-21 overall last year. John Smith, head coach, certainly looking for improvement. He talks about that with our own Molly Sullivan.
All right, Coach, we crunched the numbers a little bit. Don't have to tell you, you've got, 81% of your scoring returning, all 5 starters. And then you look at your new players, 4 of the 5 new players with experience at the Division I level. What's going through your mind as we get ready to tip the season?
Very optimistic. I try and say that this is kind of like year 1 for us, because the last 2 years of COVID was a mess. And then my first year inheriting, a different type of team. Now I think my staff and I have recruited a team that fits the way we're trying to play, and those young guys are now a little bit older, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, you're notorious for saying one ball, one team, one family. The resiliency that your team has shown early and often here, the foundation that you're building that you just mentioned. How do you best put that into words?
Building a team is always like putting a puzzle together. And, I think the most important thing is trying to develop a strong bond off the floor as much as possible, because, you're going to be challenged every single game. It's hard to win one game. And if you're connected with people that's side by side, I think your fight is a little bit stronger. And that's what we've been focused on in these last 2 years, and adding the pieces to this year. The guys just seamlessly just get along great off the floor, on the floor. They challenge each other. So we're looking forward to it.
And as we zoom in on those 5 returning starters, how did they get better this offseason?
Well, I think starting with Ali, who is a back-to-back all Big West performer, Ali Karoma, his maturity is it's been amazing to watch. He is someone that's been a joy to coach, especially this summer. He hasn't taken a day off, and he's primed and ready for a big season, as well as Trayvon Taylor. It took him a while to adjust to our style of play and how we're trying to play. But he's a perfect fit for what we're trying to do. This being his 3rd school, he finally feels comfortable in our system. So those two really have, showed a lot of maturity in that aspect. But Cameron Pierce, Brantley Stevenson, those two really have taken a turn for what we always felt. Coming from a great program like Etiwanda High School, we always knew what was in them. But now with the experience added to their grit and their toughness and their competitiveness, the floor is finally settled for them. It's not like an earthquake anymore. So I think we'll see some good things from those two.
That's good personification there, Coach. Listen, when we talk about your style of play, your calling card, we know it. But I want to hear from you. What is your style of play? What are you guys all about?
We want to play fast. We've always tried to play fast, but it just hasn't come to fruition in those first 3 years with a lot of turnover. And like I said, in the COVID years, you really couldn't teach these guys how to play the college level without turning the ball over. So we were playing too fast and turning it over way too much. So we had to slow them down the last 2 years. But now this year, I think they understand the importance that we want to play with pace in transition. And if we can't get a quick, good shot in transition, then we want to work it, side, top side, turn it over to 3 sides and try and get downhill and attack the paint and put pressure on the rim at all times. And then defensively, we want to try and smother you with our length, and we're going to continue to try and do that.
Yeah, Cameron, with 114 total assists that he dished out last season, that's pretty impressive. You talk about going from good to great. You've got your core returning, a couple new players in the mix. I'm told we got one fellow with a 7'7" wingspan. His vertical also not too shabby. What are you liking from him?
Yeah, Brian Penn Johnson. I've known him since he was 16 years old in high school, and with big players, they develop a little bit slower because everybody is telling them how great they can be because they're big, but they're really just kids, right? And he's still a kid. People don't realize that. But I think going to Washington and LSU and down to the junior college level has really humbled him and got him to understand what it takes for him to get to his goal, which is he wants to play this game for a long time. And with his wingspan and his athleticism and his touch around the rim, he should be able to play this game for a long time. He reminds me of JaVale McGee, and that's kind of how we'll try and utilize him. Just put pressure on the rim at all times and just be a rim protector.
That comparison, not too shabby. We can't wait to see him in action as well. I love the description there of the development of a big. I've never heard it broken down like that. It's so simple, right? Yeah. Your coaching staff with a pair of additions, I know means a lot to you. It's bigger than basketball. Break it down for us.
Yeah, our team as well as our staff has always been one of the youngest in the conference. And, with maturity of the team, has grown in age. Obviously, there's juniors and a lot of upperclassmen. But with our staff, we've added 2 guys that I think is a steal. We got Omar Lowry, who was at Butler University, and he was at Cal Poly back in 2013. He left, I believe, right before they went to the NCAA tournament, and he had recruited a lot of those guys. He's seen it at the highest level, well respected amongst our profession, tireless recruiter. He's a hard worker, and he connects with kids, and that's a rarity that you can't find just anywhere. So we're fortunate to have him back, and his experience and knowing this conference and knowing this town has been huge for me. I'm able to relax and just focus on the things that I can do. And then also we've added Darren French, who I've known for a long time. He's coached at 4 Division I's recently at Texas Tech. So, you know how good Texas Tech has developed from a defensive standpoint. So we're trying to take some of that philosophy and mesh it with ours, with our length and our athleticism like they had. And he's been great for us. He's got over 25 years of college coaching experience. And then last but not least, when you add someone that's played for you and who you've raised from the womb to now, I got my son on staff, and he is our director of basketball operations, and he is an extension of me, but also an extension of the players because he's been in the system before. And he's been great with our point guards, and Cameron Pierce has really taken to him and understands the game at a different level. So that's why I'm excited about Cam and even our grad transfer point guard that's coming in.
Have you thought what that's going to be like come game time when you look down, if he's on the bench or if he's out there hustling in the trenches for you, what that's going to be like, the proud father that I know that you are?
Yeah, it's a surreal feeling. We've actually experienced it a little bit. When he got done playing for me, he went overseas and played professionally in Armenia, and his season ended abruptly. They didn't make the playoffs. So he flew back and was in time for the Big West Conference tournament, and he was on the bench, and I was the most relaxed I've ever been as a coach because he just knows me, and so we've had that experience before, and now we're looking forward to developing it long term, and hopefully like Kelvin Sampson and those others that had sons on their staff, Coach Barnes as well.
Well, I made a note here to our stellar producer, Dennis Kirkpatrick, to have a camera on you guys at all times this season, because that's a neat dynamic for sure. The atmosphere that you experienced, you mentioned the Big West Basketball Championship, having it at the Dollar Loan Center right here in Henderson, Nevada. What was that like for you, Coach? The energy was off the charts on our end.
No, it was great. Kudos to the Big West for solidifying a place for us. I've been in this conference for almost 10 years now, and in Anaheim, it was great, but it was just too big for us. And the Dollar Loan Center is the perfect size and the perfect location. It allows everybody to get away and focus on themselves and their teams and just put their best foot forward. So it was a great experience for us, and we're looking forward to it again next year.
Yeah, listen, Coach, you made Henderson, Nevada championship city, and knowing, I know you're familiar with the community. It means a lot to the community. So thank you for representing the Big West the right way.
No doubt. We appreciate Henderson as well.
Well said, Coach. Can't wait for the ball to tip and see you in action. Best of luck this season.
Thank you, Molly. Appreciate you.
The Big West is back in Las Vegas. Order your tickets today for the 2023 Hercules Tires Big West Basketball Championships presented by the Hawaiian Islands, March 7th through the 11th at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada. Don't miss a minute of pulse-pounding action as 20 men's and women's teams battle to punch their ticket to the next level. Get the best seats in the house at tickets.calpoly.edu or call 805-756-4849.
The B1 Performance Patch elevates physical functions by transforming carbs into glucose used to fuel the body. Don't compete without it. Visit buyb1.com or on social media at B1Patch.
Malama'aina, to care for the land, is an engagement between people and place. When we all malama, there's nothing we can't change.
Learn how you can Malama Hawaii at gohawaii.com/malama.
Sometimes faster isn't always better. Like when you're getting a tattoo. Or saying I love you on the first date. Or putting together certain Swedish furniture.
But when it comes to getting in and out of the airport, faster is always better. And at Ontario International Airport, you can have a stress-free experience from the curb to the gate.
It's the least we can do.
The Big West is back in Las Vegas. Don't miss the 2023 Hercules Tires Big West Basketball Championships, presented by the Hawaiian Islands, March 7th through the 11th at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada. Catch the pulse-pounding action as 20 men's and women's teams battle to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. Get the best seats in the house at tickets.calpoly.edu or call 805-756-4849.
What a finish! Well, Richie, we've heard from John Smith, Alamemi Karoma, a guy we're going to look forward to seeing, plus the newcomers, Chance Hunter and Brian Penn Johnson. What are your prospects for this team this season?
Well, like I said before, Coach Smith says it himself, young guys are older now. And, that's what's important here is that now they've got some guys that have matured into their spots. They've lost no players from last year. They feel like they're going to make a big leap. And the way that John Smith has always wanted to play is fast. It hasn't worked out the last couple of years. This group this year might be able to do that, where they can attack downhill in the half court, play fast in the full court, and they have the players to smother the defense with length. They have a lot of length and wingspan on this roster.
Well, Cal Poly Mustangs hoping to improve this year and get back into the Big West Conference tournament a little bit deeper, perhaps, in 2022 and 2023. When we return, we'll check out the team that comes in at number 8 on the Big West Coaches Poll. That's next.